I just stopped in for a visit. I enjoyed making 2 episodes so far, Visit from the Old Girl, and I got 1 subscriber. Call goes by Dragon, and so because of Dragon being my 1 subscriber, I thought I'd answer his request for the snake video. So I told you that my husband and I captured a rattlesnake, and that I skinned it and prepared it and tanned it. And so today I'm going to give you a little video. I did this over a year ago, but I did take some videos of the process. And it starts with John introducing the parts on a tray, and then I go into the tanning and the skinning. I'm not ready to do another episode with concerns of isolation and quarantine and COVID-19 and all of that. I'll do that some other time, but I wanted to get something down for my 1 subscriber. Others of you are probably familiar with my husband's YouTube efforts. He does a smoker. He does sausage. He did a trailer mule for our little camper trailer. He's done a number of videos about the smoker and the sausage stuffer, how he mechanized it, and the grinder, how he automated that. So I was going to say electrified, but I'm not sure that's the right word. Anyway, he puts power to it, and so maybe if you see this, your wife or your mother or your grandmother might be interested in what I have to say. So here I go with your Dragon. This is for you. We captured and killed and skinned and tanned a rattlesnake. And here's the video. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll talk about some more serious things about COVID and coping with it and how everything is going here in the Southwest Southern California desert. And I'll do that sometime soon. But for now, I wanted to get this done and on the air. So here we go.
Stretch it out and tan it, preserve it somehow. And there's the inside of that son of a gun. There's that rattle and the snake skin we have wrapped around the coffee can to kind of...
I never did measure this snake, so even though it's in pieces, I thought I'd do it now. You see down here at the very bottom, at the beginning of the tape measure, see the tiny little rattle that came from this baby rattlesnake. This is measuring just a little over 1 inch. This came from this particular rattlesnake that I've skinned and fleshed. And this one to the left, this one is from one that that's all we kept. But look at how much longer. That's over 2 inches long. That was a big snake. I wish we had kept its skin. And so this one, of course, we're missing a little bit of the head, but this is measuring 3.5 feet. With the head, it's going to come close to 4-foot snake. So formidable and beautiful, I think. So we captured, killed, skinned, cleaned this rattlesnake, and now I am fleshing the skin in order to tan it. Now I listened to 2 or 3 videos, watched 2 or 3 videos on YouTube, and got a lot of good information. And this is my second attempt at tanning a snake. You can see a little snake skin in front of the chemicals. That was my first attempt, and I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't get on YouTube. And that little one was a baby, and I used Vaseline. That didn't work out too well. That was about 10 years ago, so it's not in really good condition, but that was my first attempt. This time, I have a much larger snake. Let me try to get a focus here. So, this is the snake, and it's quite a bit larger, folded over. And you can see on the edges, on the outside edges, there's a dark vein, and that has to come off. And you can also see that there's flesh here. There's like fat, and you scrape it. So this is what I learned on YouTube, is to scrape that off. That's how we ended up with all this debris. So I'm going one way on the snake, and then I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to go the other way on the other side, and that will be ready to go into the chemicals. Now, the people that I watched were doing several skins at a time, so they used a really big jar. But I believe this jar will be sufficient. It's a quart canning jar. I have the alcohol, I have the glycerin. I'm mixing it in equal parts. So when I'm done fleshing the snake skin from the underside, as you can see what a beautiful snake this is, and quite large too. The reason we killed it is because it was in our yard. I was raking, and we were told by a knowledgeable person that the females come back to where they were hatched to lay their eggs. So we don't want to take any chances in our yard. There's thousands of acres of national park and desert, and I'm not worried about them being endangered, but in this case we would be the endangered species. So if we find them in the yard close to the house, we do kill them. It's self-defense, and also defense of our grandchildren. So my apologies to the snake and his spirit. So I'll show you some more when we get to it. This is the second to last phase of tanning snake skin. You put it in a jar, solution, a 50-50 solution of glycerin and alcohol. So not the kind you drink, not that you'd want to waste the kind you drink on a snake anyway. So I put what was left over from stuff I already had on hand, and now I'm going to open the 2 new jars and fill up this jar. This is a quart canning jar. The jar should be able to hold another 2 cups. Yeah, that looks like it should be just about right. And I will stir it. It can be stirred or shaken. Now I'm going to put this small piece of the near the rattle, the tail near the rattle, and then this just goes in. And that should be that for another 5 to 7 days.
So here it is, a little more than a year later. I took it out at the appropriate time and hung it out to dry, and this is the snake skin. It came out, I think, really, really nice. It's a beautiful skin. If you can see this little spot right here, it's where all everything is symmetrical, but that one little spot looks like the snake had an injury. Let me see if I can point it out right where my finger is. There you go. So it looked like a puncture wound, but it had healed nicely, and so this is the snake skin. So it's about 3 feet, maybe a little more. And I was thinking, too bad it's not porous, because I could make a really good looking face mask out of it. I think very attractive. Anyway, so that's the old girl and the snake. And I hope you enjoyed this. So this is for, like I said, this is for Dragon, my only subscriber. And if you're interested in any more videos, this is an experiment of mine. I want to learn how to do this. I told you on my first episode that I decided to go back to college after being many, many years, more than 40 years. And I'm doing that now. And it's interesting. And I'm enjoying it. And I wanted to learn how all the new latest technology, so I thought, well, what a good way to do it. So I'm gonna do some more, a visit from the old girl, and next time I'll talk about the ongoing situation with COVID-19. And I do hope that you're all healthy and safe and protective of one another, so that we can all get through